In South Korea, there is a man who is famous as a psychopathic devil who deceives the entire nation. His name is Young Hak. Young Hak is a 35-year-old man who suffers from a rare disease. Young Hak is widely known by the public as Molar Daddy. Through various TV programs, he gained sympathy and even received a lot of donations because of his illness. His daughter, who inherited the same rare disease as him, is often shown beside him to increase public sympathy. It turns out that behind the mask of a loving father who tearfully seeks help for his daughter on TV, Young Hak committed a terrible crime. How is the story? Previously, please subscribe to this channel and turn on the bell to find out about criminal cases that occur in various countries. The tragedy began on September 30th, 2017 when 14-year-old Lee Ayan reunited with a friend surnamed Kim, an old friend from elementary school whom she had not seen for a long time after going to different middle schools. They both then went to Lee Ayan's house. There, Kim received a drink from Lee Ayan which turned out to have been mixed with sleeping pills in high doses for a 15-year-old child. After Kim fell asleep, Lee Ayan went out of the house, leaving him alone. Her father had planned a plan against his daughter's friend. Meanwhile, Mrs. Kim, who was worried because she couldn't contact her daughter, called her daughter's friends, including Lee Ayan. Because she felt that there was nothing suspicious about her daughter's friends, Kim's parents finally reported Kim missing and asked the police for help in finding her. Unfortunately, the police did not immediately conduct a search, and during that time Kim had been killed by Lee Ayan's father. Police contacted Kim's parents 24 hours after the initial report, and a full investigation was only started 36 hours later. On the afternoon of October 1st, the day after the incident, CCTV footage captured an adult male and Lee Ayan carrying a large black travel bag from their home and putting it in the trunk of a car. The police use a ladder truck to enter Lee Ayan's house, but are unable to find the missing girl. After identifying the owner of the house, the police discover that the owner is Young Hak, who was under investigation for the death of his wife a month earlier. On the fourth day of the search, October 4th, the police reclassified the missing person case as a criminal investigation. The next morning, they arrested Young Hak and his daughter Lee Ayan at a studio apartment in Dobong-gu, Seoul. Both were found unconscious from an overdose of sleeping pills. When interrogated, initially Young Hak spoke unclearly and denied the crime, but finally admitted it by saying, "I killed the missing girl. Her body was found in the mountains naked." Why did he kill his daughter's friend? What makes this case even more shocking is that this man is a famous figure who often appears on various TV shows because he suffers from a rare disease called gigantiform hematoma. Only 6 people worldwide are known to suffer from this rare disease. This disease causes large tumors to grow on the gums and roots of the teeth that can become so large that they deform the face and cause difficulty breathing. Young Hak has been suffering from this disease since he was 9 years old and has undergone several operations to remove the tumor, which left him with only one tooth. This is what earned him the nickname Molar Daddy. Tragically, his daughter, Lee Ayan, inherited the same rare disease from 6 people in the world with this condition too, are from the same family in South Korea. Their story is very touching for anyone who hears it. Young Hak often appears on TV programs sharing stories about his and his daughter's rare disease and their financial difficulties. He asked for help from viewers to cover the cost of the surgery, which drew sympathy and financial assistance from many people. His appearances on TV shows even helped him open a chicken restaurant, and his appeal for donations touched many people. Young Hak also published a book called Molar Daddy and even appeared in a mascot costume in Korean communities abroad to raise funds. His image as a loving father is very touching. However, the revelation of Daddy's molar case began to reveal his true nature one by one. The public was shocked to see the photos he posted on his social media, showing him tattooed and smoking. Very different from before as a devoted father who struggled to cure his daughter. In South Korea, only certain people are allowed to have tattoos on their bodies. So of course, getting a full-body tattoo costs a lot of money. Further investigation and testimony revealed more disturbing details. Employees of the crowd-funded chicken restaurant testified that Lee Young Hak rarely showed up for work and frequently sexually harassed his female staff. Lee Young Hak's former classmates described him as a troublemaker since junior high school. Lee Young Hak confessed to his friends that he had lured and sexually abused elementary school children, but the rumors were never revealed. His life changed when his father's business went bankrupt and his parents divorced, leaving him in a broken home. When Lee Young Hak met his wife and had a daughter, he was in dire financial straits. However, their lives improved significantly when he started accepting donations. From 2005 to 2017, Lee Young Hak collected over 1.2 billion won in donations. Surprisingly, only a small portion of this money was actually spent on his daughter's medical expenses. It was revealed that Lee Young Hak used most of the donation for himself. He bought a luxury car, ate at expensive restaurants, tattooed his entire body, and bought a lot of clothes from famous designers. Before committing the murder, Lee Young Hak had received 11 penalties, most of them for fraud, but none for sexual offenses. Lee Young Hak admitted to committing the crime to satisfy his sexual desires. But was this the first time he had done something like that? Police investigated his internet posts from 2016. Traces were found in his social media posts where he was looking for girls between the ages of 14 to 20 to live with him. It is clear that a middle-aged man looking for a runaway teenager has dangerous intentions. Lee Young Hak is a psychopath who exploits people's sympathy to get what he wants. The police reconstructed the crime he committed. Before the incident, Lee Young Hak told his daughter, "I need someone to replace your mother. If you have any friends who have family problems or have bad relationships with their parents, tell me." When his daughter, Lee Ayan, handed over her cell phone containing photos of her with her friends, Lee Young Hak pointed at Kim and said, "She looks like your dead mother. Bring your friend home as soon as possible." Then he and his daughter carefully planned a way to lure Kim to their house. They also prepared 2 bottles of drinks labeled vitamin supplements. One of them was mixed with sleeping pills. Lee Ayan then contacted Kim via her cell phone and invited Kim, who was her old friend, to meet. Lee Ayan said, "Come to my house and we'll watch a movie together." After that, Lee Ayan followed her father's instructions and gave the drink to her friend. A few moments later, Kim became unconscious. Lee Young Hak then tells his daughter to leave the house. Lee Young Hak can't control his terrible desires. However, during the examination, it was revealed that the National Forensic Service found evidence of abuse by inserting objects into Kim's body. But officers found no signs of sexual abuse. The next day, when the sleeping pills had worn off, Kim regained consciousness. However, Lee Young Hak was afraid that Kim would report him to the police, so he strangled Kim's neck with a tie and a towel. Not long after Kim died, his death is estimated to have occurred between 11:55 and 13:44. Lee Young Hak then put Kim's body in a large black travel bag. Then Lee Young Hak and his daughter lifted him into the trunk of the car. Lee Young Hak also took out the black box from his car. Then he drove at a speed of 200 kilometers per hour, then left Kim's body near the valley. At first, Lee Young Hak denied everything. He claimed that Kim accidentally took sleeping pills at home, which caused her death, and insisted that he was innocent. But as the intense interrogation continued, Lee Young Hak finally confessed to his crime. As the investigation progresses, Lee Young Hak's unnatural behavior is increasingly revealed, raising further suspicions. A month before the incident, Lee Young Hak's wife died in an unnatural way. In the middle of the night, in a quiet alley in his housing complex, someone suddenly fell from a 5-story building. The person was Lee Young Hak's wife, Choi Mi-seon. Although immediately rushed to the hospital, Choi Mi-seon did not survive. Lee Young Hak confessed that Choi Mi-seon jumped to suicide. Lee Young Hak explained that Choi Mi-seon had been sexually abused by his stepfather, which means Choi Mi-seon's father-in-law, for 8 years, and he only found out recently. Upon further investigation, what actually happened was that Mrs. Choi Mi-seon had told her husband, Lee Young Hak, about the abuse she had experienced. But Lee Young Hak ignored Choi Mi-seon's cries for help and instead tried to use it for his own personal gain. Lee Young Hak asks Choi Mi-seon to have sex again and records it secretly so he can blackmail her. After experiencing continuous torture and not receiving the help she needed, Choi Mi-seon ended her life by jumping from her apartment on September 1, 2017. Before ending her life, Choi Mi-seon filed a police complaint against her father-in-law. The police investigated the case, and her father-in-law denied the allegations. He told the police that he had consensual sex with his daughter-in-law and that he felt slandered. Not long after, Young Hak's stepfather was found dead with a note stating that he was innocent. Along with her complaint, Young Hak's wife also wrote a suicide note. "I have been raped by my father-in-law, my husband's stepfather, since 2009. Immediately after his wife's death, Young Hak contacted TV stations to gather sympathy from the audience. He even made a video recording of himself embalming his wife's body. Did his wife really jump on her own? Young Hak's behavior doesn't seem like a grieving husband. Just 3 days after his wife's death, he posted an ad and photos on an adult chat site looking for a new girlfriend. On the day his wife died, CCTV footage captured Young Hak and his daughter getting off 3 minutes after his wife fell, just before the ambulance arrived. But instead of getting in the ambulance to accompany his wife, Young Hak was busy talking on the phone. The next day, Young Hak is seen casually cleaning his wife's bloodstains on the street. Strangely, when he fell, his wife's top and bottom clothes were partly rolled open, but the CCTV footage before she fell showed her clothes were not loose enough to be easily rolled open. Did she take off her own clothes before jumping? Young Hak was seen immediately fixing his wife's clothes. When he went down, there were so many suspicious things. But finally, his wife's case was closed as a self-inflicted death. When the police searched Young Hak's house, they found many indecent videos on his computer's hard drive and his cell phone. Including a video of his wife having sex with another man was found on the cloud connected to his cell phone. His wife, Mrs. Choi, met Young Hak when she was young and suffered severe domestic violence throughout her life. She lived in complete obedience to her husband until his tragic death. It seems that her daughter Lee is just like her mother. Lee is completely controlled by her father, which may explain her involvement in her father's crimes. Based on the results of the examination, Lee's attachment to her father far exceeds the normal level of a child to a parent. Psychologically, Lee is completely dependent on her father. This extreme bond is partly due to the rare disease they both suffer from, and also because Young Hak has full control over their finances. For Lee, her father is her world. So whether she likes it or not, she is automatically involved in her father's crimes because she believes that is what her father wants. During the interrogation, Lee showed a reluctance to admit any wrongdoing or moral failings that her father had done. She could not stand to hear anything negative about her father and firmly defended her father by saying that my father was not that kind of person, and she had no choice. This reaction really shows that Lee should be separated from her father and her father's family and is in dire need of psychological treatment. On January 30, 2018, prosecutors asked for the death penalty for Young Hak for the murder of Kim, while his underage daughter Lee was charged as an accomplice. They asked for a maximum sentence of 7 years and a minimum of 4 years in prison. In his final statement, Young Hak expressed his deep apology while shedding tears. But he also claimed that he was treated unfairly during the investigation. His lack of genuine remorse led to his being sentenced to death on February 21, 2018. His daughter received a lower sentence than the prosecutor's request, with a minimum sentence of 4 years and a maximum of 6 years in prison. Young Hak then appealed, and on September 6, 2018, his sentence was reduced from death to life imprisonment. He then appealed again, but the Supreme Court rejected it. On November 29, 2018, it was unclear whether his daughter Lee served her full sentence, but a broadcast in 2023 reported that she had been released. This case is often discussed as a perfect example of false stigma. It shows that just because someone is disabled or in a difficult situation does not automatically make them a good person. Young Hak exploits his illness and his daughter and his financial condition. He is good at manipulating to make himself look like a virtuous, devoted, and loving father who deserves to be pitied and helped, but inside he is full of rot. That's all for this story. Don't forget to click like, share, Subscribe and comment on your opinion about this case. See you again in the next videos.